Welcome to my channel. This is Will Play for Food, a charity channel where I give my money to fight hunger. Today we're playing Legend of Grimrock 2, a party-based role-playing game where you play as 1 to 4 adventurers who find themselves trapped on a murder island and everything is out to kill you, and they'll probably succeed. Character creation is really complicated for new players, so I'll throw some tips at the end for anyone interested. I don't need to bore you with the specifics of which ones I'm playing, but essentially there is a wizard type character and a stabby type character and a rat person who uses a bow and a minotaur person who throws things really hard. As a quick warning, this game is all about figuring things out and various secrets. So if you want the game without any spoilers, you'll just have to play it. And with that out of the way, let's continue. When you start off, everyone is naked. They can punch, and that's about it. You'll get some sticks and rocks around on the beach, and feel woefully ill-equipped, which is kind of the point of the game. This is a grid-based Dark Souls experience, but with better traps and puzzles, in my opinion. While playing, you'll be marching around, trying to figure out why you're here, and understanding the rules of the game and the rules of the island. Spoiler alert, just when you think you've understood the game, it will throw a surprise at you, like a swarm of mosquitoes that dodge most physical attacks, or giant toads that leap around and literally eat your items. You don't need to play the first one before playing this game. They are related, but this game is not a continuation of the first game's story. Something really fantastic about this game is its diverse and incredibly challenging boss battles. Here I am fighting the first one, a series of toxic plants. There are tons of puzzles in this game of various types, such as this seemingly innocuous trapdoor puzzle, where basically everything switches as soon as you step on it. This one is going to go up, that one's going to go down, and the goal is to switch all these switches to open up this spike gate. It seems easy at first, except eventually you might get yourself trapped if you aren't quite paying attention. This is where the key would be, I believe, or maybe a scroll. Yep. See? Wasn't being careful, and then I got trapped. So it ends about there. It starts here. So this will be our first switch. Oops. Ow, ow. Oh, glitched it out that time. I think I failed this one. One of my first tips for you is to pick an alchemist as one of your characters. All plants in their inventory will duplicate after a certain number of steps. One thing that'll start happening as you play this game is you'll start to explore more of the map, seeing where things connect, and well, mainly to save yourself from getting lost, they give you these tools to create X's, and you can type any note you like on them. Oh, I'm about to get attacked by a rat swarm. Another tip I have for you is basically armor and weapons are limited, so you'll want each character to represent one role with very little overlap, at least on your first playthrough before you know where things are. Here's another iteration of the ground floor puzzle. In this one, they go really fast, and you're kind of just gonna race the clock to different safe points around this garden. Or you're gonna mess it up like me. Woo, almost. One thing that I really enjoy about this game is how many little cultural Easter eggs there are throughout the game, such as this one and this one, which I particularly like. Some of the major highlights are fantastic puzzles, really great role-playing elements in terms of character creation. The combat is really tense. Some of the major letdowns is a lot of enemy mechanics can be totally bypassed just by having ranged characters, which I guess technically could be considered a tactical choice. Some other negatives would be the story is a little bit weak, I guess. Everything is intentionally vague and spread out over the entire game. One thing that could be a negative or positive, depending on your opinion, is that some of the puzzles are really, really hard. If you're going to be a purist, unlike me, and play this without any guides or help of any kind, it's really difficult. Alright, so some quick tips as I promised. The first one would be realize that spellcasting has nothing to do with what your class is. Anybody can cast spells as long as they have the skill points in it. And the main takeaway of this is don't pick wizard because the stats are really bad. Instead, make an alchemist spellcaster or battle mage or almost anything else is better than wizard. The next character creation tip is your front characters are going to get hit a lot. So plan on investing in armor and evasion. The next tip would be the backline characters can't attack with melee initially, so you'll probably want them to be ranged characters or spellcasters. Spellcasting isn't incredibly strong in the end game. It just takes a lot more button clicks to cast one spell compared to double-clicking a melee character. As I've already mentioned here a couple of times, balanced would be best. 2 casters is okay, more than that is pretty weak, and if you have 0, you're going to struggle in a lot of areas. Since hunger is a thing in this game, you'll need someone or maybe 2 characters that are really strong enough to carry food for everyone, and probably items, letters, bombs if you use them, ammunition, etc. Get a pack mule. In this playthrough I had 2 technically because the rogue also had incredibly high strength. Even with having 2, sometimes I was still over encumbered. The internet is full of lots of extra tips and walkthroughs, guides, etc. for this game because they're pretty necessary. If you want a quick, easy template, just copy the characters that I use exactly, except my names are definitely trademarked. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. It's really fun, in my opinion. There aren't too many games like this, and as far as I know, this team has disbanded and joined other studios, and there won't likely be another one, unfortunately. Ultimately, I had a blast. I could not stop playing this. I was up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, not really realizing that it had been that late. I had played this years and years ago when it first came out, and took a pause, and then found it impossible to get back into because I had forgotten where I'd been and where I hadn't been, and I'm really glad that I came back and played it again this time and fully beat it, including the extra special boss that they don't really even tell you about. I can't really recommend this game enough. If you like role-playing games, especially dungeon style with heavy combat. It's really great. If you don't like combat and really stressful timed puzzles, then you definitely won't like this game. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and share if you also want to help out with ending hunger.